spent 30 minutes fucking drawing this shit, and there's barely any insight in here. I kind of fell for like a quad polygon. It's very cool. And yes, you kind of have to read it in a weird way. And who knows how that works. Besides, you have to put it also in a rectangle every time. You have to align your rectangles properly with the screen. Because you don't read it as a triangle. You can still kind of read it as a triangle, maybe somehow. But we don't do that intuitively. We have X and Y dimensions. Figure out where X starts and kind of organize things like that. Like we read a book. Whatever. Top down. Now, I will be, again, using 4x4 chunks. And it looks kind of cool to be able to not use rectangular things, but instead to use just nodes of whatever is connected to the node. But then the question is like, what is controlling the borders, right? And the reason why I allow myself to ask all of these questions is because I want the second day of when I do stuff to be experimental, and every single step that I will take considering this, it's also gonna be split in 5 days. Alright, I pick up a step, I split it into 5 days. Hopefully every single day is unique and gives me still a pretty good result in the end. Unfortunately, I literally got exactly what I came for. Fucking a rectangle, but twisted rectangle. Alright. Misaligned. And it doesn't really work very well when it's misaligned. Yes, it's possible to read, just like it's possible to read this structure if you align it into a rectangle, like this. And you just double check what's inside and what's outside. You can still read the whole thing. And render it. And whatever is inside this thing gets rendered. Meaning that it doesn't have to be a rectangle at all. It can be a full hexagon, which usually what every object is in. It's inside a hexagon shape. Yes, you can make what I did and make the whole thing stare back at you. And the hexagon does turn into a rectangle, unfortunately. If it literally just looks back at you like this. Wow. There's no hexagon. It looks back at you. There's a little bit of a... No. There's no rendering issue. It's just high resolution. At low resolution, everything looks super duper good. So, I'm kind of proud of that still. There's no way to not be. Meaning that I can still use rendering level 2 and maybe not really think about putting another layer, which is what it is. I think rendering number 1 was about me just going through aligned blocks and hitting one of those blocks, and then it's kind of super ridiculously simple. I had to figure out how to put array in a travel mode where when it travels through a barrier, I can allow it to hit something. And I can shorten those barriers to create micro blocks, right? And that's what I did as well. But the most recent breakthrough was when I started just using polygons instead that would be floating around, and you could hit with array, you could hit a polygon in this tiny space and still render basically a moving object at this point, except it cannot leave its own space. But I realized I had a clear problem. I wanted objects to actually move around freely, and I couldn't figure out how to solve it until I figured out, well, I just throw them at the screen, I sort them out, and that's about it. The problem that I still have, however, another problem that was deep here as well, meaning that rendering 1 was not solving this, rendering 2 is not solving this, rendering 3 could potentially do it. Organize pixels themselves, alright, or regions themselves, may be capable of like handling 2 regions at once, and some regions might split into smaller regions based on how difficult it is to render those regions, because you have to go through a lot of objects and double check those objects. Or maybe you can discount certain objects, so you have to do a resort to ensure, is the object really going to be hit or not? What am I supposed to be reading in this region, and how many objects am I going to be reading until I actually confirm something? Right, that something is definitely on top of the screen right now. It's all about if the array only reads one object, potentially that's where it ends, and the workload is very low. But if it has to read 10 objects, if it's empty space and it barely touches things but don't render anything, that's a really tough position, actually. And perhaps there's a way to sort things out again to equalize the workload, but it doesn't look as I did previously when I was talking about, oh, let's just cut objects into pieces. No, I cannot just backtrack and reinvent rendering. I actually have to use rendering method 2 and sort things on top of that, basically. This is rendering 2, and I have to put a layer on top, figuring out how to solve another problem. Very simple. And this problem is way more complicated than the problem that I just solved, which is like allowing objects to move around the screen freely. And it's super satisfying to be able to do that. Maybe I will still reconsider optimizing into hexagon shapes, if that's even helpful. Because again, certain pixels wouldn't be rendering anything. Right? It's pretty basic, but I'm saving like what, fucking 8 pixels or something. What is that gonna do to me? Not much, right? But there's still always research to do, things to figure out. Like, I bumped into the weirdest FPS drop ever, realizing that all I needed to do was remove how many floats I'm using, because this little thing is using a lot of floats. Right now it's 120, We talked about this, but it's still fascinating. That just using something like this would actually strain performance a lot. This could still be using a lot. You know, I still have decent amount of information being used. Potentially I don't have to do that. Right, I can read it from some kind of source instead of have all of this. I just have some kind of source for every pixel already prepared as space that you might not even have to read. But yeah, you set up corners, you set up a polygon, one polygon. Used to be 8 polygons for every single, no, 6 polygons for every single wall. And it's just for entering the object, not for actually rendering what's inside. But this polygon is literally every single polygon based on this map, so that's cool. Meaning I can have any amount of geometry. I just don't know what is reasonable at the moment. So we'll figure out this limit eventually. I still believe, strongly believe, that an object is simple geometry and an item is somewhat combined geometry out of a bunch of objects. Like, you know, a hammer would have a head and a handle. Very simple stuff for an item. And an item can be a box. Alright? Still an item, technically, even though it can just be a box. Because the definition of an item is just a little bit different than an object. Although, yeah, the box wouldn't make sense, wouldn't it? Unless you can open the box, then all of a sudden it has to have a lid. All of a sudden, the definition of an item is fulfilled. Because what an item is supposed to be about is interactive and made out of pieces that matter, right? That could be called different things, basically. So, that's gonna be the definition of an item, which is what we're gonna construct eventually. But right now we're gonna deal with chunks. They should be able to be any size, at least in rectangular way. And I probably don't want to break that down into some kind of fucking weird shapes like that. Alright? But I could. You know, if I find a reason to do weird shapes, I'll take it. Because you know what? We can handle, like, what is it? We would divide 1 million objects into 16 chunks, meaning, actually I do need those 3 zeros, I mean 6 zeros. It really helps right now. I can have 62,000 objects in one chunk. That's kind of the idea. We surround the player with 16 chunks, and the idea is I can have 62,000 objects. So in other words, we can say 50k objects for every chunk, and we surround the player with 60 chunks. Alright? Sounds ridiculously simple. The chunks will basically stretch themselves out until it reaches that sweet spot of holding 50k objects. And however, they're not grabbing objects and inserting themselves. No, they have a terrain definition, basically. And terrain definition means that every space costs a certain amount of objects, right? It's almost like terrain itself is an item. It's actually pretty crazy because I think that would be true. Terrain would be one item. Fucking ridiculous. Obviously, terrain can be split into multiple biomes and shit, right? And could have its own items like trees, animals, all that stuff, right? The ecosystem of other items, but itself terrain, with most of the items in place, if they are completely stuck in place or they're not growing, they are a piece of terrain that can be randomly generated, but that seed is going to persist if you type it in, right? If you type ABC, it's going to spit you out the same result for the terrain, and there's nothing we can do about it, basically. But if we do modify the terrain, that's ABC plus modification. We literally have no ability to actually modify the seed past the point of having a seed. So terrain is an item. That's kind of the definition, right? We cannot modify something that already is defined. We cannot undefine it. That's kind of interesting, right? Almost speaks something about life. I don't know. Your life is defined, you cannot undefine it, you can only live your life. Alright? Not get into it because your life probably meant to suck, basically. It's the fucking weirdest thing. So the same way, you know, you have definitions. You can't undefine it, but you can definitely modify it. You can definitely live those definitions the way you like it. You know, meet them in a certain way. So that's what terrain is. And again, we take a unit, a terrain unit, and a terrain unit is basically two blocks stacked with each other, right? And distance between those blocks, as long as it's consistent. Distance between those objects. Now, again, this is the size of the blocks, and sometimes maybe I would decide not to have regular sizes at all. Obviously, anything inconsistent would be kind of toxic to the game. So at the moment, I'm not gonna think about inconsistencies. No way, dude. That would be too much. But I can't say it's not possible. It's just very complicated and toxic. It's like, okay, I have this rectangle as a block. What do I do with other rectangles? I have to surround it. Or squares. I definitely cannot use squares anymore. Alright, some of them have to be a little bit stretched out. Maybe some of them as thin as this. What am I gonna do with that? How am I gonna make objects as flexible as that? That's pretty crazy. Obviously you can split it like this, but how do you fit a rectangle like in a square area? And square area means like, you know, a simple grid. Can you fit a rectangle here? Yeah, if you stretch it out a little bit. Yeah, sure. If you modify these things. But you, and not split them, that would be fucking weird. Because you're almost like intruding these corner pieces. So you still have to take care of the corner piece. As like either stretch this thing out, and at some point it ends, right? At some point this weird interaction ends. Or no. Or you just keep it. But I don't want to question this. This is so weird, right? Minecraft already kind of works. We don't have to question if the blocks can be bigger, smaller, what the hell? But we kind of have to anyways, just in case. Just in case there's something to learn. Just in case we're going through that experimental phase, which I am not going through right now. I'm just explaining things I did in 30 minutes. And we're actually reaching those 30 minutes consistently. There's rendering level 4, or layer 4, that would potentially require AI help, right? And it's simply about predictability. If certain objects appear on the screen a lot more than others, we can actually sort those objects before we sort those objects, right? Pre-sort, or just, you know, give them a tag, especially if some objects are deceptively closer to the camera but are not being rendered at all, potentially. This probably happens only in further cases, some faraway blocks, but still could happen. So there's that. That case is pretty interesting to me, so I can't rule out that I might work on rendering layer 4 at some point. And I'm kind of curious, you know, how rendering actually works in general. It solves a lot of problems as it is right now. I wonder what kind of level it is. Like, fucking level 7 or something. Because they don't use ray tracing for rendering, guys. They use it for lighting. They're using for special effects. And it's kind of awkward in a way. It's like, wait, it's still not rendering with ray tracing? Probably not. Probably, you know, you still throw polygons at the screen. But the polygons that you throw, every single pixel, you do a ray tracing of that thing and see how it lands towards the light. And you use AI now. So what we get initially for Minecraft was one level below what we actually got in the end. That looks like performance-wise it works. So congratulations. I'm scared, alright? Trying to beat Minecraft is a scary fucking experience. Because it doesn't just sit still, but one thing does sit still. Anything that doesn't have to do with rendering, Minecraft sucks at that. You know, Minecraft simply sucks at entertaining people. Like myself. I don't want to go back to Minecraft. There's nothing to do. It's just game over for me. Like, it's pathetic watching, like, Captain Sparkles try to do something. Because it looks like it's the most boring thing now. You know, and what are you doing? Speedrunning now? Is that what it is? Still parkour? Is entertaining? What's going on, Captain Sparkles? Looks like someone's giving up on life or having a midlife crisis. Fucking weird. Because, you know, Minecraft comes back to popularity. People who are not very wise would just have a crisis all of a sudden. I have to go back to Minecraft. I have to figure out what's so entertaining about it. I was a Minecraft YouTuber. Dream has more subscribers than me now. Whoa. Whoops. Yeah, that's the crisis. So yeah, I'll use the unit. Let's just jump out of it. I'll use this unit, and that's the size, right? From one point to the other, center to the other center. That is the size that you can scale up into a certain size when you hit an actual 50k object. So the real question is how... Yeah. You know, the terrain itself can hide itself, which is really cool. It's what Minecraft does best with its terrain, why it's so easy to render it, is because it's not actually made out of blocks. Made out of layers. Alright? Surface layer, in a way. It's just a blocky surface layer. Alright? Whatever you see on the surface, that's all that is being rendered. I'm not rendering things on the surface. I'm rendering what pops out on the screen as a surface. But otherwise, everything can be rendered, right? The ground itself can come from below, basically, and render itself for a second, and then come back down. Or an entire cave system can come up and come back down. There's literally no stopping, alright? You know, if a palace is underground, it can come from the ground, render itself a little bit, and show a middle finger, and just come down, all the way down. I'm a palace. I'm underground. Please check me out one day. That would be the weirdest advertisement of what you can do in my game, basically. Hey guys, you missed this thing, you know, and it comes back down as a fucking mirage. So I can do that. Minecraft cannot do that because the blocks are made out of, or ingrained in chunks, right? I can still do chunks. You know, I'm talking about an object. I'm talking about something that has polygons. So I can probably make chunks, you know, small chunks, maybe 4x4, but still significantly big once you realize I can have 50,000 of them in one actual chunk of objects. Now, the reason why you have to have chunks of objects, and potentially you have to actually have more than 16, it's fair to say I probably gonna use 4 times more, or something that, you know, divides this number into 10k instead, right? That's a lot better. Alright, so, and yeah, some actual chunks might want to be smaller than others, which is unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. Or just generally make smaller chunks if there are weird structures in any one of them. But that's another complicated thing to actually handle. Like if you actually hit 10k objects in a very small terrain area, what do? Like in this piece of area, there's tons of objects. Maybe PewDiePie is growing fucking 1,000 cows in there. What am I supposed to do if I'm cramming a bunch of objects in there? And the terrain is kind of defined like, yes, I'll probably kind of take 8k for terrain, there's 2k objects allowed on top, for example. And I don't think I will cross that line very easily of 2k objects still. You know. What is it? I might need like 10 objects for a mob. Well, 200 mobs is kind of very likely, right? Is it likely though? In one chunk out of 64 to have 200 mob level items? Yeah, so mob would be like 10 objects. It's almost like very interesting, like what M is equal to 10. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Objects, very cool. It almost like it is. That is 10. What are you talking about? I didn't see no difference. Very nice. No, I could split a terrain into 2. You know, easy. That's the solution. I need more chunks. I can get like an extra chunk or something out of my ass, literally out of my ass, and just split it. If there's a lot of objects, I just split the terrain. Very cool solution to that. Now, the biggest problem is going to be some objects are in between terrains. They will have to appear in both terrains. There's nothing I can do about it. But the important part is that, you know, because I calculate the terrain, the size of the blocks and all that thing is aligned with everything, there's not going to be a lot of problematic blocks in between terrains, alright? And yes, you can go in between four chunks. And when I said terrains, I meant chunks. You can go in between 4 with just one object, and you can cram really hardcore and break my game, if that's what you wanted, Antwenum. Alright? Fucking the most annoying thing now. Everything that breaks me is an Antwenum. There's no way, man. Terrain. So it's predetermined. We have just very simple structure in that sense that can be modified, that has its own thing going, and that's gonna be the basis, right? That's all I can talk about before I actually do the actual work. So it splits in the middle. I can still talk about what I have to do before I do it, but now I do have to take the action part, which is kind of interesting how this symbol looks like. Wow, cute. There's nothing to speculate about. I think it's pretty much defined now what it is, what terrain is. I'll definitely take a break though, and maybe talk about other things. So definitely not stay tuned for that. Nobody wants to hear me rant. How terrible life is, but terrible. Yes. Terrible. We're gonna use that a lot, apparently. Whew, okay, so let's see. Now, the weird thing is when you have mountain terrain, or just actual terrain, as I have it, every single block actually exists. I cannot hide it, alright? I would love to hide a block, but I kind of don't want to. You know, what's the point of hiding things? Maybe I'll find the reason why. Make terrain out of, you know, how Minecraft does it, how everyone would do it, except me, because I can afford not to. I can afford having tons and tons of objects, and probably building a terrain is the stupidest choice to actually do, because you can build almost anything else. Why build terrains? Why be so nasty? And also, yes, you would think, yeah, that's the weirdest thing. When I have too many objects in a terrain, I split the terrain in half. However, if I have not enough objects, that is terrain's fault, and terrain can figure itself out when it's stretching itself out to reach a certain limit, which our limit is going to be 10k, as I've said. 10k is a nice limit. Again, we do 64. That's roughly right, 500,000, which is 640k. So I do have a little bit of extra chunks stored in the back. I can probably do 13 times 64, 15 times 64, 15. So 15k objects in one chunk. We can stretch that a little bit. Alright. 450k objects. I have to square root that number to see how it looks like, kind of. I don't know how to use this calculator, by the way. Alright, so it would be 3.8 of something times squared, right? That's the area that we're working with. We're filling up with objects. And again, as I've said, we might have 15k objects, but I probably just want to use 12k and leave 3k space. And it seems like 10k is too nice to not use right now, to give player 5k space, because like 5k space is something that might actually happen. Player might, you know, stash a lot of things into one place, but if you stashing things in one place, I'm gonna cut it in half and see how you like that. Alright, and a half might mean actually an actual objective half, where the objects do meet in the half point, where I split technically all the objects you have created into 15 by 15. You know, somewhere, which is the maximum numbers. Usually it's going to be like, you reach the 15k limit, so I split into 7.5, 7.5. It might not meet in the middle. I just meet in an objective middle. So it's so cool. It's so cool, man. Knowing all these intricacies of my engine is so fucking cool. Oh my god. I don't think I will be able to recover, dude, and make action happen. It's that one special thing, dude. This M is missing an action. It's its own problem, dude. Because it's fire element. Why would it look like an earth element? Fucking stupid. A is an earth element. Alphabet is earth. Fucking crazy, isn't it? Alpha? Alright, so 15k objects. Wait, I don't have space for new chunks. What am I talking about? I should give myself some free space as well. Which is literally what it means. Free space is gonna create new chunks. Or something. I don't know. Meaning I would still use 10k, right? But because I have some free space. Now I still don't know how to organize it properly. So it's its own... No. So I'll probably use 8k, but I have free space in case something breaks this limit to split one piece of terrain in half. Or in 3 pieces, who cares at this point, right? The split itself gonna make terrain look a little bit weird, but very reasonable. Very fucking awesome, actually. Just like, I probably would be able to split not like this, not screen like this, but into actual pieces very, very similarly, based on whether it contains an entirety of the object or something. Of the object in front of the screen. If there's a fucking wall here that you're looking at, oh my god. A piece of the screen is not working very hard at all. Maybe we can reach 100 FPS with that. That would be fascinating. I'll take that. I'll take 100 FPS anytime now. And sometimes it would actually be the case where you only have objects and then empty space behind them. But that kind of scenario now works very well, actually. In fact, now I did solve the greatest problem of all time. What happens when the ray travels forever? Holy shit, that is scary. Alright. It has to travel infinite distance. Well, no problem with that, because like you have finite amount of objects, right, that you can reach, so you actually throw those at the screen and then ray trace those objects potentially, which is super cool. It's super cool how it all works. Whew. When you just put it together properly, when you grow your brain slowly, and now I'm like appreciating the slow growth. You really have to appreciate, and if you don't want to fail life, just slow growth, man. Oh man, it's the scariest thing if you forget to appreciate that I'm not rich and I make good progress, you know, that sort of stuff. What, do you expect me to be rich already? No, I'm poor as fuck, okay? I don't have a product. I cannot sell it yet. If there's a product, it's rotten, alright? Because it's missing pieces. Someone like, I'm trying to sell a banana without the peel. Wow. Not very appealing banana, is it? Without a peel. How do you do that? In bags? Canned bananas? No one's gonna buy that. Alright? But yes, selling bananas is also pretty cheap, even if I fucking make a banana. So it's like, I have to make it cheap, unless I can actually advertise a banana as like a very important thing, and really convince people to make scarcity out of it. It's not gonna be an easy fucking feat, okay? Banana. So. This looks very good. 10k. And 10k... No. We're gonna take a square number. A nice little square number in there. So what is it gonna be? Actually, I don't like square numbers either. I would like an 8 or something. Or something with dimensionally nice. Right? Because you have like 1, 1, and then a certain amount of depth. Like 1.5, 0.5. And once you multiply those numbers, you get 10k. Something like that. Alright? So how do we split 10k to... what is it, like 4 by 4 would be 16. 3 by 3 times 1.3 or something, maybe would be 10 almost. No, 1.1. 1.1 would be 10. So 3 by 3 by 1. 3 wide, 3 wide, and 1 deep. So that's how it would actually look like for 10k. And then you still have like 1 extra k. Something like that. And if it's a mountain, or if it's just like a high terrain, it does have more objects, unfortunately. So that's cool. That's more work. I would like to do blocks slightly taller in mountain ranges. Literally just slightly taller blocks. It would work for me, I think. It wouldn't be a ridiculous thing to do. Except when, you know, as players... you're just kind of dealing with expectations now, problematically, of how the blocks are going to be destructible, right? Because essentially, the block destruction is not going to be what you think it is. What if I can just take away a sphere out of a terrain? Wouldn't that be fucking cool? I can probably do that. I can probably take out a sphere. Now, it's a terrifying thing, because now all of a sudden you're looking inside the block. What kind of texture am I supposed to apply to the inside of the block? That makes no sense, right? But that's a question. Can I even have taller blocks than normal blocks? That's the discussion. It would look awkward in some situations, when, but maybe not too bad. Because the most awkward thing is you find in a cave a block like this, and you can mine it. And it appears to be, you know, just a regular sized block, but you mine it from here. How? What the fuck did you just do? It probably would be an impossible block to mine through, actually. Unless you first mine this block, so it would actually do that. It wouldn't be mineable. That would make no sense, right? What if it's just like a sliver of a block appears? Oh man. That is a scary thing to think about. It probably would be unmineable in that sense. If it's half a block, you can probably deal with half a block. You probably make it unmineable if it's just a sliver. So that would be an extra problem that we don't need right now, clearly. We can think about it later. So yeah, I think everything is thought about. We're just gonna have 10k objects in total, maybe 8k in a field, or 9k. That's already predefined. So we'll see how big those chunks are. We're gonna have 8x8 world surrounding the player. We're gonna see how big this world could be based on how high the terrain can actually rise, or how many blocks can it have. Because the biggest problem is, yes, we have the spacing, but we also have to have the average times the average of what is the average height of the terrain. That's what we need to get for the overall count to be correct. So that's about it. I think we can move on to actual work now. And yes, the whole pattern works exactly the same way. If you move up the terrain, remove certain amount of layers and adds them in front of the player. Just like that. Just based on the movement, right? If you move like this, we remove these layers and these layers, add them first here, and then second here. Probably X goes first and then Y, but doesn't matter really much. It's just important that, yes, unfortunately there's a section that probably not supposed to appear at all. Probably everything is supposed to disappear. We can probably do that too. Select new area, select which chunks still remain, and remove chunks that don't remain anymore, and then create new chunks just like that, linearly based on the tags that are available to us. The easiest thing to do, however, is to just move chunks from here to here and repopulate them accordingly. Load them, unload anything that is inside them, and load the new stuff. So that would be potentially easier, so I don't know about that. But that's about it. And yes, again, the split part is important as a complicated calculation eventually. But I think that's like the coolest thing, because You can just do that. And maybe do weird splits as well. Alright. Really, really weird splits where if a player happens to have weird contraptions in one chunk, it might split the terrain a lot of times. It all comes down to the player now, pretty much. Alright, that's about it. Oh no, I just heard the word interest rate in a different fucking light. Yes, yes, that's cool. But we actually talked about chunks. Alright. How come money has interest? Are we teasing people? What's going on? Well, we're not spending money, so it collects interest somehow, right? Because you can lend that money to some people, but it's so fucking stupid. Because that's what it is lending has interest. Not actual money, then. Because it's about giving money and actually gaining money. For giving money. For having money in the bank. Money gives away money. I mean, banks give away money, basically. And figure out their interest. Oh, fucking weird, man. Really weird. How is that even possible, though? How does that counter inflation? How can you hold in a bank and you get 1% interest, even that, you know, as a saving? But at the same time, it is inflation. So that's another way to gain interest, actually, is the need of money in two ways, right? It's supposed to counter inflation. It's supposed to lend money. Do two things at once. It's kind of interesting because the highest interest is to actually hold resources, not money, which is what bank which actually is supposed to do to counter inflation. It's actually invest. That's also part of an interest. Investment of what's not inflating. Or actually isn't. No. Because inflation means lowering the price. But deflation means heightening the price. So that's interesting. In a way, that's a lock, so there's a specific answer to this. Banks can loan money and invest. Into deflating or into growing markets. Bank has to be smart enough, right, to be able to do that. Countering inflation. Because banks themselves should be able to know more or less when inflation actually happens too. Yeah, that's your interest rate. It's fucking crazy though. You can just put money in a bank and you gain money. Ridiculous. Alright? None of that makes sense. The workers that do the work are supposed to get the money. And still, it's the growing markets people that's supposed to gain the money. Whoever is growing the market. And people just kind of, help out. Lend the money out to those people. Because that's the whole fucking loan part in the first place, is the growing market. There's only potential to be able to loan to those markets. There's not necessarily a special need for that. But when we're talking about shares, that's not necessarily direct investment into something that the company actually needs. It almost feels like, well, the company is just has a share of profit or something. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Ridiculous. As if, yeah, you own a piece of company because you invested so much. Actually own it. It's ridiculous. How can you fucking own anything if you're not managing anything or whatever? At some point the system becoming so fucking weird, stupid Graham, but he keeps showing up on my feed. Yeah, no. Psychologically, it's good to save people from lottery. Fuck those people, man. Holy shit. It's such a weird thing, dude. Whoever got hooked on the lottery are fucking dead people to me. Save them if you can. Oh, man. You would think like, oh, why should I talk negative about people who are you can't help? No, the first lineup is stop. Alright, it's the best help you can fucking deliver. Just stop. Just stop doing lottery, okay? If it's actually harmful. This guy's talking about a bank that basically, if you save, it basically gives you lottery tickets in return, which is kind of fucking weird. On top of a good, savings, interest rate or whatever. Lottery tickets. Well, that's cool. It is what it is. It's a little bit. Lottery is socially exciting, but it's one of those. Another social markup that turns into a disaster, I would say. Alright. Lottery is another social addiction. On top of money, right? It's earning money fast through the most ridiculous means of not actually working. And it's like it somehow makes you a better person, which is fucking the stupidest thing you can come up with. Social addictions are the most stupidest shit. Alright, quick update as I work through this. This is the dimensions that I'm going to be using. Basically calculate this not automatically, but manually instead. Because the distance is not supposed to change anyways, and the blocks kind of align with 1 point of distance, one point of size. So if it's just 1 point, all I need to know is what is reasonable when you divide the height, and you get 1,000 items, you square root out of that, and you get around 32. 10 fits nicely. I started with 8, but 32 just is super cool number. So we'll be using that because it's very divisible by 2 all the time. I swear I'm gonna quit Hearthstone eventually. And it's probably gonna be now. And so every time I'm trying to quit Hearthstone, it's one of those fucking fancy moments. What's wrong with it? I hate Standard. I just fucking hate Standard. It's unbelievable. Duels is like the best game mode because you actually get to improve a little bit over time. But it's the worst reward system as arena mode. Because you play against actual, you know, opponents. Not noobs. And it's impossible to find noobs. Unless you start with low MMR. Everything is unlocked. And you don't have to fucking look up what the deck is supposed to look like. When people play blindly, that's so much fucking better. And that's what arena is supposed to be. But for some reason, arena doesn't work either anymore. Something fucking happened. I don't know how to play arena anymore. That's pretty impressive. Because I usually don't go below 3 wins every single time. Or on average. Below 3 wins. Like 2.5 fucking wins is what I get right now. Let's see how interactive these fucking, you know, cards are. And how good they are. Because if they're fucking bad, I can't fucking play arena, guys. If you just give me bad cards, this is a bad pool. Alright, so we have one bad pool. This is another bad pool. Alright, so let's fucking calculate how many bad pools are we gonna get. Very trusty calculator. All I have to do is just plus... Probably I can't do that. Oh man. Oh man, we're stuck with the old calculator because that one works. +1, yes, thank you. We got 2 out of 30 cards that come from shitty pools, meaning they're fucking pointless. Yes, this augmented guardian is pretty good actually. It was being played in standard, so it has to be pretty good. This card is fucking broken. I don't know why it was recommended between 2 not so broken cards actually. Because in arena values everything. Oh wait. Values everything all the time. Arena is just another game mode. Not special, really, from anything. If you play tempo in Hearthstone, you just win. Alright, you just have to figure out how to play tempo consistently all the time. And Druid, well, has all the fucking ways to do that. What the hell is going on? There's one card that stands out so badly. Alright. This is definitely the best card. Definitely the best card. Okay, finally, you know, a little bit of thought you can put into this. Do you have enough spells to do this? Probably not. Do you have enough patience for growth? Because the curve is kind of looking pretty lame. But that means I can still squeeze something in. I'm not just gonna try and add things because of the growth. Am I an aggro deck? It's like, what the fuck is this deck right now? What am I doing? Why is there synergy cards with spells? You know, in arena. At this point, it's like, just figure out arena. Customize arena properly. You know, what are the cooler cards in arena? That's what you put, and you fucking ramp up the power level a little bit. I'll fucking give us like Claw. Like, what the fuck is this card? I'm not gonna play this ever. I'm not gonna pick this. This is like fucking non-existent card. I have 2 picks, and well, both of those picks are fucking trash too. If you really think about it, this is like the better one actually, which is like the scariest thing. You would never pick this unless you have enough spells. Gotta take Proto Drake. It's not a very good card. It's not very proactive. It just sits there and smashes face, or you lose. Now, because I picked this card, I have to get a pretty good early game. Let's hope we do that. Alright. Yeah, that sounds about right. have plenty of cards that would activate now. If I'm not gonna enjoy Arena, and if I don't get like 12 wins right now, something's wrong, basically. I'm not saying my deck is fucking tremendous. And by all means... Alright. That was a terrible pick. Either terrible or like 3-2 is actually normal in Arena, which is no. Please no. That was terrible. Ogremancer's fine now. I would rather be working by all means. If I just punch myself so fucking hard, my entire history is me punching myself in the face and telling myself, hey dude, you should work, it's pretty good. Oh look. What is this? I don't know. 1 drops and a 2 drop that sucks ass? That's the way I see it. That was pretty shitty too. Even though I like Clown. Clown is not bad. Probably shouldn't have taken this. My curve is so weird. So ridiculously weird. I guess if you have a lot of 1 drops and high cards, they kind of synergize. Because you can fill in your mana a little bit. We'll see. I mean, I have no idea what Arena is anymore. I don't know how to play it. I don't know how to enjoy it. And that is like the worst thing, because normally I do pretty well and have no trouble, and there's plenty of strategy too. And the most disgusting part is the strategy point, because it seems like it's not about necessarily rush cards. It's the idea that there's just more stuff that happens not on the battlefield. You know, you can't just put up a taunt and pretend that this is gonna fucking hold or something. Or it's gonna be relevant. Maybe taunts are still relevant, that's cool. And they're actually growing in value. I would be very amazed. To find out something otherwise, you know, otherwise than the way that I feel. Because the way that I feel is pretty terrible. I'm not sure if it's okay to play this like that, but just have to hope this sucks in. Yep. I guess I'm a good player now. There's definitely RNG moments that you just can't stand. I don't know how this makes any sense. I guess he just got a bad deck. Bad day to you, sucks to you, boy. So we completely obliterated this person. As I see it. And something weird starts happening. It can. I welcome weird shit now. It's part of the game. It's pretty weird. It's pretty good traits for him. Yeah, I guess Merchant was actually pretty good, but because the pool was so shitty, I'm not taking the vote out. Somehow we have 4. So fucking weird. Like, it's almost like 1/3 of cards you pick don't actually matter. Like, at all. It's so obvious. No, it's after attack, so it's good. I can just smash his face now. Because he lost. If he plays something, I just win. Because this card is nuts. Yep, You played something. That's pretty bad. It's pretty big something. Let's hope all works out for me. And it doesn't. What an asshole. Am I right? Does it activate anyways? No. Oh. Yeah, and then you get Troublemaker and you just win. Whoops. Is this card not so bad, huh? Whoever dominates, obviously, the arena just wins as well. So you have to actually perfectly construct that early game. Let's fucking go, baby. It's pathetic. You tried a fucking explosive trap on me again? Oh, look. It's a pretty good card, am I right? Not bad. The more you win, the more you win. That's how it works. Potentially, cards that do things at the end of turn, or you attack with them, or just cards that do things should do one time. Just one time. Just like Spell Burst wasn't actually ridiculous, but it wasn't actually interesting either. It's just kind of lame. Because Spell Burst is still pretty complicated to pull off. It's kind of lame. So that was easy. Because my opponent just didn't do things for a long time. And this is where my first complaint is pretty obvious. Is like, I just draw a lot of things I can't play. What the fuck do I do? I just mulligan too. What's the problem, guys? What can I do now? I wonder. Hero power. Well, at least that works. So, very, very deciding turns. I can't do anything. Alright, I could have armored up for one armor, but I literally can't do anything. Deciding turns. Deciding who gets the board to keep for a little bit, you know? And who knows how that will snowball. Pretty cool, huh? That's pretty fucked up move to fucking make in arena right now. You see that in constructed and it fucking breaks you. In arena, this is fucking madness. You see shit like this, it's unbelievable. 2-drop into 1-drop, someone is actually affording this card combo. And got it. And it's all random and all fucking bullshit. And I can't respond to it. And I need swipe. Or something. There's almost like less answers than ever before. The less answers I have to things to fucking clear this shit up or just spend my mana properly. As I can't right now. I just play 5-drop that sticks on the board. And apparently doesn't stick at all. Well, unfortunately he just spent it. Nope. Nope. That was shit as fuck. Alright. Owl. Very nice. So I do lose. And this was very much intended because like there's no fucking way I actually get away with winning 2 times in a row in arena. That's not gonna happen. I'm below average. Let's remember that fact. Alright, somehow I'm below average. And I'm not sure what quite happened. I think someone just stole the board and actually played fucking crazy cards in the first place. All of these cards are crazy. Everything he just played is fucking crazy. Early game. What is this? Just pure control. can play spells, that's pretty cool. I do have a taunt, that's pretty cool. It's probably gonna stick. I don't have a lot of time left. And he's actually trading for some reason. That's congratulations for that. I really appreciate it. I think I'm... No. Kinda wanna trade through. I don't wanna attack it with this guy anymore. I wanna be flame striked, please. So I can concede immediately. There's no hope if I get flame striked. So hope you get that idea. Oh, that's cool. My rush is bigger and cooler. I'm running out of cards and health. Because this guy dominated early game. So... it drains my cards and it drains my health. And I start from 0, basically. In the most awkward place. I don't think that's the correct move to make. He will lose if he does that, so congratulations. He just misplayed, and I actually enjoy that a little bit more than I should. Probably can just play like this, because it freezes his minions. It's very, very useful. If I get Flame Strike, I concede. Let's not forget that. You know, random event. I hope to fucking capture that thing. Forget Blizzard is bad enough. It's on that edge. I guess I'm getting no. There's no way I would get Blizzard now. Now that he made a terrible fucking misplay. Oh, that's game over, baby. See, that misplay just cost him his ass for sure. There's no way. Oh, let's ping face. That's gonna work. Alright, apparently I actually dodged. 1-1 police. I don't like to be average. I told you this is supposed to do 12 wins. Accidentally just... Whoops. I guess I'm good again. And I just have to make a recording of how edgy Hearthstone really is. Like, the most edgiest thing ever. Sometimes it fails in spectacular fashion. What happens is, well, my opponent misplayed. So that's cool. And the rest is just RNG, right? Because the most tilting thing that can happen is my opponent doesn't necessarily play well, but it just gets lucky and has good cards. That's about it. And now getting good cards is easier than ever. You just have to not get terrible pulls. That's the shittiest fucking arena feature ever. Oh, just dodge all those bad cards, you know, just get a legendary or something. Of course. This should be like an average value that you gain in arena for your deck. Like a genuine average. And then you can add in a few legendaries or something. A few epic cards. I don't know what's good, right? It's usually... Yeah, there's legendary pulls and there are just generally good pulls, I guess. Or it went back. Downgraded because there's plenty of common cards I see. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Alright, that's cool. We're getting closer to a decent value from this guy. Even though I don't care. All I care is what 8-drop am I gonna get. Free card draw, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, all we have to figure out is what actually adds to arena experience. Is just randomly adding cards in here and rotating this set of cards, and it's all fucking random. It's difficult to keep up. I don't like that at all. I definitely don't look into statistics or anything. I just like the overall feeling. But I just saw like the biggest noob play I've ever seen in my life, so I really don't know how to feel about this anymore. As if the higher I go, the lower level players I encounter. What's going on? This 4-mana card did 1 damage. Unbelievable, honestly. How did you get 2 wins? So that's hero power time. I have to protect my Murloc from his 1 damage spells that cost 4 mana. Yeah, dude, this guy has 3 health. You can't kill that. You can only kill that. I'm sorry about that. Let's go. Pretty sure he's thinking that, oh, I cannot play 2 spells in 1 turn. That would be crazy if you could. Probably there is some kind of fancy schmancy play. I don't think so, so we'll just go. Nah, this is awesome, right? I get upgraded. I get a boogie monster, so I probably lose now. He's probably upgrading his spells to deal 2 damage instead. Look at that, it's 4 damage. It's the most badass move of the day so far. I kind of feel I can just do a general play. I don't have to push anything. After all, I'm pushing Savage Roar right now. So that's way better than playing this bad boy. I can clear anything with this. He literally has a fucking clear right now. Unbelievable. He didn't play it ever until now. Now is the time. His boogie monster is gonna just obliterate. Exodia obliterate right there. That's the moment. If he cannot kill it, he loses. So fuck it. That's my Exodia right there. And he... oh my god, this is amazing. This is so fucking amazing. Oh wow. Somehow I am losing, so brace yourself for this fucking magic. Still, this survives, I win. Just with survival alone. If I can play this, I win. If I get stuck fighting 10-10s, then yes, I cannot play this either. It's fucking crazy. I lost all the good cards so far, but I still put him at lethal. If magic starts happening all of a sudden and he just fucks me in the ass magically. Oh, of course he does. Of course. Oh, wait. No, of course. That's to be expected, of course. It's all good. Please. Just something survives. This is the stupidest part of this entire fucking game. First of all, this is the stupidest fucking card. Sometimes just Blizzard doesn't fucking understand how crazy equality is. You know? Oh, we nerfed equality. Oh, we have another equality, which doesn't actually affect our board anymore. What the fuck was that? The weirdest thing is power creeping cards that were already nerfed. You know? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the most painful card. And right now I lose because he heals. It's like, okay. Okay. Oh, look at me. I didn't fucking lose, actually. Oh my god. Fuck yeah, dude. Proto Drake, let's go. Let's buff this junior right there. Ah, yes, that's very nice. Let's heal for 8. How about that? Boom. Almost. Yeah, that's the one, basically, of course. Let's heal full. Because that's what I needed to fucking see, guys. I wanted to play longer because this guy is so good. He had fucking terrible cards, didn't he? But he pulled it off. Somehow he pulled it off. It's amazing what you can do these days. And I win because I play this card, alright? So that's the way I win, actually. Apparently. And I have a taunt. And he doesn't have a third one of those, you know, third equality. That's pretty cool. I wish he would have a third equality. It would make total fucking sense. Yeah, I have to kill that garbage. It's gonna start spawning insane garbage. Alright, get out of here. Alright, so we have 6 versus 7. What's up, boy? If I get a smash in your face, and I summon anything at all next turn, I will dodge losing this game. But he's probably gonna draw like 7 cards. Oh, look. It was not... You know, it was not what I thought it was. It was another fucking broken card. So I guess I'm losing now all of a sudden. Oh, I guess I'm winning again. Why is it so tilting? Why am I top decking right now? Is this part of arena experience? Top decking? Is this how it works? I heard about it. It's very fun. Alright. I still heard that I win most of the time. But this is like the most frustrating win ever. How long this fucking gonna last, I don't understand. But it's definitely a win. Unless he has equality again. It's just... That's the typical arena experience. Top deck equality, because I have it. And I can smash face now. Because I have tons of dudes. Well... Oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? Jesus fucking Christ. That's how it looks like, dude. That's fucking arena experience right there. And it all goes face, and I fucking lose now. Apparently doesn't go face, doesn't it? You know? Yes, it does. Okay. Finally. We figured it out, huh? Oh, it doesn't attack. Oh, we can't attack that easily. Okay. I'm so sorry. I have to Savage Roar, which is really fucking painful. Kinda have to do this too. If I keep drawing... Oh shit, I didn't play this. That's very, very immature of me, but whatever. Pretty good top deck, am I right? Ha! Wow. Oh, pretty shit top deck. If only that top deck was ever fucking done previously. You know, when it was being done. Ah, here we go. Almost there. You know. We're almost there. I don't know. Kind of winning. Almost there, guys. Just need to get through 8 cards. Because I'm sure that's gonna happen. 8 whole cards. Look at that fucking bullshit! What the fuck? Where do you get a deck like this, dude? How many people have been raped for this deck? You know? It's one of those questions. Someone had to die for this. Blessing of Authority, 2 equalities. 1 fake equality, because now it's fake because it got nerfed, you know? Ha! Wow! Fascinating. Oh, baby Jesus, why would you concede? You know? Don't you have an amazing top deck? Alright. We're going for 12 wins. There's no turning back. I did not enjoy any of these 3 games, by the way. Whatsoever. None of this was enjoyable. It all was meme town, for sure. Like, oh, my opponent misplays, so I get an extra few turns, I guess. Or, no, I win faster. Or it just looks like my opponent's deck was terrible. Or it was too good and I just don't fucking understand what's going on anymore. I just let it play out. You know, because we're top decking, so we're playing 1 card at a turn. That's what card game is about. Play 1 card! I play 1 card, 1 turn. That's a card game. Absolutely amazing. So right now I'm in a fucking pickle because I cannot play anything. For like first 3 turns I can't play anything, so that's completely normal again. Now we got used to that, so it's completely normal. I do feel I'm gonna trade into it. Believe me, like, please buff this card or something, just for fun. How fun it would be if it got buffed. Oh, I can't play anything. Moment happened. So sad. What the fuck was that? No 3 drops. I can't afford no 3 drops with Druid, I guess. Priest kind of doesn't make sense to me. But Priest is one of those classes I hate very much, so we'll figure it out as we go. I think Ogremancer is like late game. It's just like the most annoying card ever. And the spells get clogged up in late game. I'm not saying it was good what happened here. I'm just saying I can handle it. Alright guys, I can handle it. Don't worry about it. Smash his face. Alright, alright. should be good. Hearthstone is gonna steal an hour. I hate it because I'm awakened for a long time. Hearthstone is just stealing time so badly. I'm gonna give them a lot of credit. They have tons and tons of heat. 347. Never seen before. So that's pretty amazing. This is fucking weird. Alright. Oh, I guess I lose. It's one of those I guess you lose cards, so I guess I do in fact lose now. Too bad I have a way to freeze this. So that's pretty unfortunate for him. I don't lose immediately. I might actually even draw my win condition. Pretty good, huh? That is pretty annoying that he has a removal in his hand. And he's willing to actually tell me about it in case he doesn't actually play it. So that would be a noob play to make, but he didn't make the new play. He actually annoys me instead. Congratulations. Not sure what the best play is. Oh, come on. That was not the best play. That was the best misplay. Thanks. Thank you. Super cool. Guess I really wanted to draw. This is such a shitty 8-drop. What the fuck? I can never play this. Never. I have no demons. Why would I have demons? Oh, I guess I can activate this card. Pretty sure I lost, okay? It's a very simple deal. I just don't know why I should care anymore. Or what I play or what I do. It's the best 7-drop, guys, in the game. Literally the best one. So, interesting contrast of what's possible. Well, let's heal up some cards, shall we? Why wouldn't we do that? No, we did it. It worked. We healed them up. There you go. He was ready this whole time. It's the most annoying part about Priest. Healing. In Arena is like total cancer. I might actually need to draw cards, so who knows? And I still forget about this Cobb effect. Could have played it. Would have been Savage Roar moment, maybe. Still need to activate this. Still need to draw those big cards, maybe. That would be nice. I don't know why he has big cards and I don't have big cards. I don't know why he has heal. Oh wait, he's Priest and they always win. Oh, at this point I lose. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Shut the fuck up, dude. Emoting on me. Fucking loser. Wow, dude. I play my credit card. So that's the first loss in an array of unfortunate events, basically. I probably need to force infestation. Savageor can wait. Well, I guess I can, because I don't have 1-drops. I don't have anything to play for 3 whole turns. And I'm starting second, so it's pretty bad if I do that. If I just wait, you know. I guess I'm gonna gain a mana crystal. How about that? That's gonna save my ass. On turn 3. So that means I... Oh, wow. I guess I'm not that fucking big of a loser after all. Let's see what 3-drop he has. I guess I win. Ah, very nice. If only things wouldn't be decided by whether you hero powered twice or not. But I kind of feel they are decided like that. Even though, yeah, the priest did not do very well. Himself, actually. But neither did I, so... Who's counting, really? It's too hard. I don't even want to go back and think of what happened with priest. It's just so stupid. The stupidest part is obviously the 7-drop. It kills me instantly. Freezing was not enough, and I already said, like, oh, I lose when I saw it. So you can... You bet it was a pretty good 7-drop. Guess Ogremancer comes first. Guess he would try and kill it or something. Freaking weirdo. That would be the weirdest move ever if he'd actually double and uses 2 mana for this shit. Like, fuck you. Wow. Wow. Wow, this is even weirder. This is like next level type of weird. Blizzard. Wow. He actually did something like this. Alright, now you have to ping this then. Just have to draw that stupid 10 mana card to win. It's literally my game right now. Well, if I draw a 10 mana card, I win. I guess that's pretty interesting game. Ah, oops. I don't know what he just tried to do there. Looked pretty awkward. Yeah, it's freezing time, baby. Not gonna let you trade that easily. It's fucking weird. Oh man. Oh man. Look at him go. Ah, yes, I win. We did an oopsie, guys. We win the game. Not bad. Am I right? Not bad. Winning game with 1 card. Playing 1 card in 1 turn. That's how you win the game. Very interesting. I wish this would happen more often. He can actually clear the board almost, so that's pretty annoying to me. I literally have no board to play with. Oh, I guess he does clear the board. Huh. Interesting. Ah, that sucks. I wish I had a board to play with. Well, let's try again. You know, maybe at some point it will stick. It'd be pretty good. I wouldn't lose just playing this card for 10 mana, wouldn't I? But I wouldn't lose anyways. This is like the most ridiculous. deal. So he finally doesn't. Oh my fucking god! I'll be damned if he actually played around this somehow. Some motherfucking how played around this. Ah, thank God. That was like the scariest moment, dude. Oh my god. Well, because I win or I lose. Decided by a secret. Let's go, man. That's what's decided, you know? By a secret. I defeat your 10 mana spell with a secret. I had to play, man. Okay, well played. Get the fuck out of my face. I win with one card. And you're no match for me, bitch. My god. It's either Savage Roar or that 10 mana card. That's all I need, really. Easy game. I did not enjoy a single game so far, so... I didn't thought anything that I did mattered, so... Pretty good game. Ah, yes, I actually need to have it. Who would think like you would not mulligan this card? You would actually keep this. Yes, I'm very fit right now. Look at how fit I am with this card in my hand. Super fit. Especially when rush cards are introduced, it's like, you cannot fail with this card. Even if it's just +2/+2 for everything. How can you fail? What's the lose condition, dude? What am I supposed to do wrong? You know, I just play this whenever I can. And I lose my entire turn for that. In case that was not important. I'm sure it wasn't. I guess I'm screwed a little bit. I wanted like hero power, but that's kind of weird. Oh, fuck my life. That is as bad as it gets. That is as good as it gets, no? Probably not. Probably the best way to do this is like that. Eat ass, boy. He's barely overloaded. This 7/7 thing is really annoying in Arena for sure. Can't believe this guy is still strong as hell. If he clears the board, I probably lose. He's kind of getting there. Kind of scared. I can probably defeat this loser. Ah, yes. Very nice, very nice. No. Either way, I just lose all of these. All of these I just lose, so doesn't matter which order I pick. I just have to survive to turn 10, and that's it. That's the game. Let's not forget, Strongman is waiting for us to become strong. And then is our friend. Very nice. Okay. Oh, look. Terrible card. Can we crush it? I don't even want to. It's totally pointless. Probably play it like this, no? I'll play it. It doesn't matter what I do right now, it just doesn't matter. It's not like these guys have a rush or something. I don't even know what these cards have to have. That's the one that I had to... I guess the important part is I shouldn't have attacked right now, right away. Pretty important if I play this or not. I think playing this is fine because I'm not buffing it anytime soon, so I have to maximize potential. It's still pretty lame. I guess I buff it afterwards, but then I buff everything. So it's like the same thing. Alright, that's pretty good. Still kind of waiting on these cards. I don't like it. I might even have to play this, which is very scary. If he attacks my face, I lose, so that's a pretty interesting play. Because I have to play this, and it sucks. I guess I can attack his face too. Or draw a swipe or something. Something relevant right now, please. Come on, let's go. Now I totally lose because of that. That's the one. That's when I surely lose. But that looks pretty good, actually. Probably I can do this first. Even though it doesn't make a difference at all. Alakir, thanks, dude. That is like super duper useful. So he has... I can trade here, but I do have to smash. Because I have a taunt. Then an Alakir or something. He most of the time has to trade. Even if he gets a spell. But now with spell damage he can kill. For sure. Fucking hell. Alright, strong man, you have to hold. Alakir is gonna finish him off for sure. I set it up. It's all gonna be great. I guess I don't set it up. I guess I lose. No, I lose. Alright, Shaman. Very nice. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect to lose the board so quickly. If I don't lose the board on turn 9, I win. It's just simplest game ever. But the rest of my deck is pretty shit. I hate to keep this, but it is a 3-7. Let's just be honest about it. I probably don't have turn 3 play or something. So if I can play anything ever, it's pretty good. Oh look, I can actually attack that because it's a shitty card. I'm so glad I'm at 4 and 2. It's totally below average, dude. It's still below average, and you know. No, it's literally average. Just 4 wins is average. So if I get cheated right now, I have reached average barely. Average for a good player is 4 wins. Average for a Shit players, 3 wins. That's it. And I don't think I... Yeah, maybe we just trade. It is 2 attack creature. I have to kill this. Even though I have swipe. Doesn't change anything. Alright, this guy's slow. Oh, oops, I'm gonna play a Mage Secret when Ogremancer is online. I hope that helps, buddy. Probably can't attack now because he's so confident about that secret being so useful. Damn, I could just swipe and shit. Ridiculous. Probably have to swipe just to know what the fuck is going on. I can't attack. I need my Ogremancer, dude. I didn't play a card yet, so that's the last thing that I didn't test for. He's trying so hard to just kill this. It's so fucking pathetic. Oh wow, we just have to wait. No, I'm pretty sure we just do this. It's gonna get... continue to be irritated by Ogremancer. Why does he have 10 cards? Isn't that easy? Oh, he's still trying to kill it? He's trying to desperately kill it now? What the fuck is this, dude? Congratulations. He generated plenty of value. No worries there. Strong boy. Still kind of want to smash phase because I should. Deactivate the secret. That was a little bit obvious what it was. I'm setting up lethal in a way. It's pretty sweet. That was pretty annoying. Whatever. He can't answer everything, can he? 5 versus... What's that? 5 versus 4. I actually have less cards. Nah, 5 versus 5, so that's fine. I don't think ping is free, so... I can ping. I don't think he can ping. I have big cards in there. What the fuck is this, man? Is he stealing something? What's going on? Oh, come on. Was that necessary? Yeah, whoops. Kinda have to play this. Actually gonna play this. Let's go. Oh, that's pretty sweet then. Kinda wanna trade. He didn't ping last turn. Again, his pings are limited. I can draw a card if I need. Is that what he does now? Kind of. No, I think that's game over. just play this. This must be game over. He's forced to ping. So that's pretty shit. And then you have 5 versus 3 cards. Alright. Second ball morph though, pretty fucking painful. I don't think I played this yet. I think I just set up lethal mildly. Just mild lethal. So that is 5 versus 3 cards now. That's pretty fucking brutal. But I set up lethal. So I must gain this win for sure. Yeah, I had lethal too. Okay. That was not a bad game, maybe. But it's kind of very easily decided. And most of the time, again, you don't know what's happening because most interactions come from people's hands, not from the board anymore. So it's just painful, actually. It's very painful. I've seen a mechanic that kind of reappeared in another card game, where you place something and you keep clicking on it to get an effect, but you kind of exposed what it is. So that's pretty cool. Where's that? You know, where are recurring effects you just place down? Like a hero power, but not exactly. You don't pay mana for it. It's just there. You click a few times and it disappears. Like you can click it 3 times. I don't know. Dormant creatures are okay, but like... they're just bigger creatures, that's it. They're not that interesting at all. No, I definitely lose against Priest. It's just... you lose by default. Such a control matchup. Such a pain. I hate control. But hey, I'm a temple player. Maybe he's gonna get fooled. No, I'm not getting fooled. Getting immediately frustrated. But I'm not drawing cards versus control, am I right? Alright. 6 versus 6 plus these little shits. Gotta keep track of hand size. It would be pretty useful to do that. I think I just kind of swipe right now, unfortunately for him. That was an ouch. There definitely was not a less greedier turn. And he just got himself some 1/1s, because he got himself greedy for some tempo. What's going on? And we're playing against the noob again. It's fair because it's 5 and 2. I'm still, you know, in the average territory. Alright? I'm not an average player by any means. He just played this. Actually played this. It's ridiculous. Alright. My Savage Roar hits him down to 5. Okay. Ah, a random card that's actually premium quality. That's pretty good. must say that's pretty good for you, boy. Sour Draw hits for 10, which is setup lethal. Alright. I'm gonna get out of here now. I think Crazy Pants is something I heard before. I wonder how many people I fucking... But I have so many people, and I faced so many people too. And what the hell is going on? Never mind. See you next time. Okay, that was very good, because it was quick and easy. Turn 7 win. I'm an aggro deck. And maybe I'll get a refund. Wow! I will not complain about Hearthstone ever again. If I get just a refund. I'm literally playing an average deck. Oh, this is amazing. This is the perfect refund. Am I a better druid than the druid himself? Probably Infestation goes away. It's a terrible card. Why? Why don't you go away? Told you to go away. It's a terrible card. I have nothing to buff. It's a waste of my time. I guess I'll change my mind right away. Okay. It's not gonna be active until turn 4. So I'm not changing my mind, actually. It's just, yeah, I guess it is adorable. It's just how it works. How adorable things work. They don't. Fucking garbage, dude. I can't wait for... I probably should have attacked. Oh my god. Nah. Would have been too easy, am I right? Fucking hell. This is hilarious. I definitely play a bunch of spells before the owl. Oh wow, what's going on here? What the fuck is this card? What is happening, dude? Oh wait, I'm still in average zone. Above average. Barely above average right now. So the only question is like, what makes him above average? That's about it. He didn't even attack me, so... Pretty sold on that one. Boof, boof, boof. I guess you do have to have like a super cool win condition in Arena, and it's actually pretty hard to pull off. But you have to have it, like some kind of Nazoth thing that fills up the board or whatever. You have to have that win condition. It's the most sweetest thing. And in Arena, because it works in Arena, it's just so cool. It often works too. So those kind of moments I actually appreciate. This is really nice. It fills up the board, smash him in the face. We prepare turn 7, turn 8, slowly get there, basically. Getting there is still not gonna be easy, but hey. Probably gonna beat up a mirror match, right? Why should I lose now? Is that all he has? Are you serious? Doesn't even threaten me in any way. It's pathetic. Set up lethal now. What's up? What is up, boy? An owl. Is that gonna save him? Unfortunately, not really. Unless he hero powers right now. Oh wow, 0 mana spell? That's pretty interesting. something you would expect. Impressive, look at that power level. If only I could clear his board. Would really help me right now. I still have a win condition, I still have a growing... Nemesis. No, real problem is that discard for him. Otherwise, there's not much to talk about. Alright. Final turn. Good luck. One thing lives and I win. Except for this. This is not a thing. This is just... Okay. So we got a refund. Our deck is above average. Now we come to real man games. Real fucking games, dude. Now we're gonna get beaten up, man. Bloody, sweaty, and all that shit. I will lose immediately, alright? We're above average, I can lose immediately, I'll be okay. But I'm not okay because I actually came here to get 12 wins. Simply because I was losing so many times in a row. That means, you know, it's... The opposite has to happen. If I got 0-3 police. Two paladins and 1 mage. I'm not sure what class I picked. Unfortunately. Why am I seeing a... kind of an average play right now? Play a 1-drop like this, pretty average. You know, I said I'm above average. So what's going on? I kind of want to push right now. Because I can push a hero power in there. If he manages to trade. Yep. And, yes, hero power. Probably... I have to trade, like, every time, actually. It's just so weird. This is how Arena looks like right now. There's no dodging trading. That was okay, right? 4-2 into 5-2. If I can steal value from him, I can win. That's perfect. 7 overload on him. From this turn. Alright. Anything else? 6 versus 2. Oh, wow. Huh, interesting. Does he have 1 mana play? Oh, he just skips. You have to attack. I guess you don't, because I trade. 1 mana, nothing though. So awkward. I don't think I want to do that, but I don't have an efficient play. And I get to grow this. Continue growing, okay. Definitely have to block this. 5 face. Alright, 7-5, so He blocked a little bit of damage. Nah, he loses. Back to 7. Back to 7, boys. And a card draw. Plus card draw. That's pretty important. Oh, that's not a card. Whoops. I guess it's just plus 7. No, it's plus 2 again. Or just 7 in general. 7, 5, 7. Alright, is he gonna go back? In controlling the board ever? Oh, he just lost. He just wanted to see what card's in there. Nah, dude. That was not even... That was not even 7 wins, dude. That was like... 2-2. Perfect, okay. See, now I'm like... Oh, this original arena experience is completely normal to me. This is something I can actually understand. I literally just played like 6 games. I guess I shouldn't play Mage. And I probably shouldn't play Rogue. And Demon Hunter is on the edge. Any class that attacks into other creatures as a hero power is like an often hero power. But it's why would this be? It's a bad deal. I think Rogue is actually a terrible class. Somehow. So I played like 2 Rogues or 3, and I never play against Rogues. So maybe that's the thing. Definitely Warlock is actually below average, I think. It's just hero power wise, very powerful, unbeatable almost. But only when you truly need that goddamn hero power. This is unbelievable power level, by the way. I don't even know. I probably don't want a hero power right now. I mean, Wild Fiends. Let's charge it up. Let's fucking go face. A hero power. No big deal. See, if I can go face, that's amazing. It's kind of like the same thing. 4-4, right? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I guess a fucking free trade, huh? I don't think I get anything. It's the weirdest thing. I actually gonna do this. Just in case I actually trade with these guys. And I have to use this somehow, somewhere else. I still have to keep tempo and all that shit. You're just gonna play a 2-drop. That's it, you know. A hero power again. Pretty straightforward. He would actually even trade in some cases. Somehow he doesn't. Because he gets my idea. Alright, now we're starting the actual game, because I didn't play anything, he didn't play anything. Now the actual game starts. Still, we play 1 card per turn, which is fucking fantastic for a card game. Fucking weird. Oh my god. I'm a little bit scared not having a board myself. We do have a wonderful turn 7 now. Maybe we'll draw a card. That would be amazing. Okay, that's kind of awkward now. If he's gonna remove one of those, it's pretty scary. Probably had a chance. get out of here. So still 0-0, right? Even though I hold the board, I do 0 damage. That means we're toe-to-toe right now, regardless what's going on. Just literally toe-to-toe. Alright. That is the shittiest thing ever, dude, to happen to me right now. I probably just have to take it. Actually, no, this is like fine. I play a turn 8 thingy. I activate this. I have a removal myself. It's all good. Unfortunately, it's not. Oh, what the fuck just happened? I did not get anything. Oh boy. Isn't that amazing? Still probably a better play. Still probably just super cool just playing this guy and this guy. Oh, fuck me, dude. Alright. He kills the taunt. I destroy him. Still 0-0. In both ways. But there's no way he's gonna dodge this, right? Well, he is dodging it. It's pretty amazing, honestly. He's dodging it both ways. Alright. I do have to play this, and it's like pretty scary if he has removals. Probably just have to play this instead. Because he doesn't have anything big right now. 3-3 is just gonna be good enough. Very scary. I don't want to be removed with this board. I want to protect this guy. Still 0. That's above average. Right there, that's above average. That's how it looks like. You get stuck. And usually you just run out of cards in this situation, because that's his win condition. But I have my own win condition at 10 mana. I play my shitty card. So that's the arena experience that I'm looking forward to, by any means. The deep end experience, believe me, that's the spot. So he's calculating carefully how to get through this 10 points of tempo. Has a little bit of extra damage, apparently. I expect 3, that's a 4. Does he sacrifice the taunt? He got himself out quite easily. But he does have to tap, so that's not necessarily 2 damage on me. That's so fucking weird. He wanted to tap. He fucked up his board. I kinda wanna do this, though. So him fucking up the board. Let's put it this way, right? I could attack this. I definitely should, to some extent. But I put him in such a terrible spot that it's so sweet. It's so fucking sweet, dude. Not only has to shove his Dread Infernal into mine, unless he finds face damage, which is ridiculous. What? Wow. Wow, that was fucking nasty, dude. Didn't even split in 3-3. Not even that. Oh man, this is pretty good. Let's go, let's go, let's keep going. I'm into it. We're gonna fill up this entire video. No, I will want to show how my rendering looks like. I mean, not rendering, what is it? Like, I even forget chunk loading. It seems like simple, but it's so intricate at the same time. Yes, I wouldn't be actually building anything to show how chunks would split eventually. Chunk splitting is not something on the list right now, so I don't have to work on it. And really, I just want to fucking relax and take it slow. That's the most amazing part. I'm not supposed to beat Minecraft, you know. I'm supposed to look at Minecraft as it achieved something unachievable. And you can't beat that, you know, it's unachievable. But you can at least, like, appreciate that I can do something that Minecraft did to some extent. And I can actually beat Minecraft to some extent, too. But I also cannot compromise. How I do things. I can't compromise that. I'm a poor person. I did not just found an easy workplace and came back and like, okay, I definitely have to work on this now to escape a workplace. So at the same time, am I poor? So I have a pretty good lifestyle. Alright. Swipe face? Or not to swipe face is the question. We're faced with. So lame. Swiping face is so lame because it's not a tempo play at all. So I'll actually do it. I'm not swiping. He might even rush face. I don't know. There's no way he has 1 damage just like that. Woohoo! It's me, Mario. See? We greedy bastards. We got him on the hook. You thought I would have swiped that time? Not. Ain't gonna happen. That was the best. 9 wins play. We got him, you know. We got him on that 9 wins play. That's how we do it. In the kitchen, boys. Fucking cooking this guy. Look at this guy. Easy kill. I'm a little bit scared of, you know, like, the general card. What is it, like 11? It would be 11-11. No thank you, alright? No thank you. I'll trade. 11-11, authority. Yeah, thanks. I really need that. Still doesn't have anything on the board, so I'm not mad at all. I'm gonna play this bad boy. Take 5. No, it's a 4. It's a 4 and I lose a hero power. But it's still a 4, so he has to normalize this. Pretty good turn for him, actually. Oh, oops. I have a good turn myself. That's an oopsies. If I'm scared, then I'm scared shitless. If I'm not scared, I'm not trading anything, so I'm not trading anything right now. I don't think nothing's gonna happen, really. I don't think he's... I don't know what you would do in this situation. You can't trade. Ah, that's pretty sweet, huh? Ah, yes, he kills this thing. I definitely just kill this. But I have so much leverage on his face. I'll take the leverage. Because I set up lethal just like that. He has to play taunt pretty much. And that opens me up for survival. And that's probably the end of that. So I just play my win condition. That's pretty interesting. He's not playing his... Oh, interesting. Very interesting. He's not playing his out. I don't know, man. Huh. I guess he was fishing for a decent way out. We're getting fucking 12 wins? Holy shit! I'm gonna piss my pants, dude. Alright, now we're high. We're fucking flying high. These are 2 final bosses we have to defeat. And they're not fucking easy. They're not gonna fuck around. Okay, shamans don't fuck around. They're the most vicious creatures on the planet. Shamans, oh my god. I always pick shaman, except until I'm bored. Or like, whatever, you know. Fuck shaman. I played shaman every time, and I always win. So now I kind of getting bored. I'm very scared of shamans, believe me. They just take tempo and win. Just from tempo alone. Even this card is like tempo. 1 drop. If he picks up something good. If it's trash, then it's trash. We skip turn 2, turn 3. Casual druid plays right now. Still have the fittest, so, you know, I'm a little bit closer to victory than you would think. And I guess I lose the board now. This is where it begins to go fucking wild. He takes the trade, I take the swipe. I don't even have a choice. So that's pretty sweet. Look at me, boys. Taking that swipe. There's nothing I can do special about swipe next turn, so I just have to take it. Yeah. It makes the hero power so much stronger. Please press that button, dude. What an asshole. It's literally 6 points of tempo out of 3 mana card. 4 mana card. 4 mana card. Terrifying. So, like another 4 mana 7/7, but even worse. It's an actual 4 mana 7/7. What the fuck is this? Sometimes it actually reaches that threshold where it's 3/4 out of this shithole. Serpentine. So this is one way Shaman wins the game. It plays this card. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Plays a 3 mana card. That's how you win. No, they have so much tempo in so many ways. Okay, so another one. You know, just no. No. That was a legit 5 mana card. No cheating, nothing. I assume I can play my 7 mana and just buff it up. Or buff up something like that. Or just survive. You know, survival. It says survival, so I guess it's a pretty... It's still a 10 mana card, meaning survival. You know, meaning I win. Because I survived. Pretty fucking crazy card, isn't it? I survived, I win, I'm Druid, guys. Fucking hate this. I hate this Druid skin. I should have changed Druid, actually. I should go back to Malfurion shit. Oh, that's the best trade ever, dude. And that's the worst trade ever. That is really bad for me. That is good now. That is really fucking bad. I just lost the game. Alone on those stupid evolutions, dude. Evolution is the second thing that Shaman does worst, alright, in the game. You gotta hate those evolutions. If he actually gets, then I lose, so... yeah, I lose. Congratulations. On achieving ultimate glory, basically. With your stupid evolutions. See? They don't fuck around. You have that RNGesus on lock. 2 cards that win the game with Shaman early. That's pretty cool. That's why I play Shaman every time. Shaman at least makes sense because it wins very, very quickly. It makes sense. And it wins with tempo and bullshit. So that was this whole, you know... This is the weirdest thing, is like Druid has this one card that wins him the game, but not all the time. I was only capable of surviving of the fittest against the Paladin that was cheating the game this whole time. So I guess it's fair. I guess it was fine. I'm not throwing away Hearthstone. But it's so fucking weird. It's the weirdest experience ever. Especially when Hearthstone just gain a bunch of points, a bunch of heat. It's now unstoppable. Look how fast I can click. If I actually click. I probably should stop clicking now. It's embarrassing now. Ugh. Alright, see you guys when the chunks are ready. I'm still tired now. But I definitely have nothing better to do than watch shitty YouTube videos and then do this. So and I have to do it slowly too. There are lots of nuances. So I looked at the code. There's lots of nuances. I had to shuffle a little bit of how I do objects. So object loading. Apparently this actually does not work. So defining does not work anymore. At least with objects. So I have to use something else, and that was a little bit of testing because of that. So once I figure out, because the toughest part is, okay, you spawn the terrain, you have to still split it into chunks. How do you organize those chunks? Where do you put them? How do you shift those chunks? Just knowing that I'm shifting chunks is not an answer. I actually have to know how to do it exactly, which is that's the most frustrating part. I vaguely know things, and I should have just good enough tools to put together, even though I know things vaguely, and if I can't put it, then I actually need to build more tools to help myself. And that's the frustrating part. This is like, the 4th day is like, expect the unexpected, and you have to work on the other things, not exactly go straight in, go vector in, you know. You're not going straight in, you're actually going around the problem. Because that's usually how you solve problems. You actually walk around the problem. You pick up every single tool there was to make your life a lot easier. And then you tackle the problem. You just easily hammer the problem afterwards, right? You walk around and hammer the problem instead of actually tackling the problem itself, which you can probably do quickly by any means, but you're not going to do it efficiently, where it's never going to pop up again. And this is what stacking is about. You walk around problems because the problems, they stack against you. They reappear against you, and if your code is unorganized and it is incapable of efficiently fucking hammering that one problem, and it will never reoccur anymore, in that sense. So it's super cool learning programming, but you slowly understand you're incapable of really actually doing anything unless it's perfect. I'm a perfectionist. I can't fail because it will make me less efficient and make me enjoy programming less. Who knows what problems I'm going to be facing. But yeah, moving forward slowly and surely is very important right now for me. Alright, before I even do anything, I'm so frozen by the code. Looking at the code, it's so fucking stupid. The way it works, especially on Unity. When you have vectors, and you have vector integers. What the fuck is that? Literally, compute shaders work 10 times better. The things that you can do on compute shaders. I actually like it more than C# now. Way more. However, in both situations, it's probably very appropriate for me to create visual coding, which is why I put it immediately as the next month assignment for myself. Not exactly know how it's going to be broken down. I still will have to tip my toes into this thing for a few days, and we'll see. Probably it is a part of this, but it's, you know, it's like a 0.0 actually. Discovering what these 6 points would be, what the month would look like. That's pretty cool. Alright. Now I'm just trying to, you know, this is day 5, so I'm just trying to speed run the point itself to the point where, you know, it does kind of what I ask it to do. And I'm pretty sure, yes, I will unload and load chunks. And it might be a little bit awkward, but it's so cool that there's a special little area, right, between two all these loaded chunks that will get unloaded, and unloaded chunks that will get loaded. There's a special area where almost like it's flipping the whole thing. So you kind of note like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This corner, whatever ID is this corner. So you actually read from here and apply here as a flipped version, while you leave this area untouched. And this area is the same as this area. In other words, this X is here, and then you have the middle meet here, but basically those IDs kind of match and cancel themselves out too. But it's very easy to just take the chunk, apply it here, and then apply all the IDs that used to belong here. Now it just goes here as a flip. So there's probably an even easier way to flip. Like if this is this far away from the start, it's gonna be this far away from the start, just flipped. Or even not even flipped, honestly. I'll take a cleaner, I'll take another sheet of paper here. Alright, we're gonna quickly go through this. So if we interfere this area, I guess I actually want a different color. This is gonna be new area, clearly. And then there's interference area. cool. And so if this point here, or no, this entire square has this vector away, literally the same vector is going to be applied. Actually, this is wrong. I only need 4 by 4. Because it reflects this 4 by 4. Alright. Moving. So this vector right here, where it starts, I take the start point and the end point, and I map out where the chunk would move using this vector right here exactly. And then this chunk moves exactly here. Although it is endpoint again as well. So I not only have to use the same vector, but I have to use this versus this, so it's almost like a flip as well. In other words, I have to use this plus this, and then apply it here. So plus 1, 1, plus this vector. See what things I have to do? It's definitely visual coding. There's no way. There's no fucking way you can do this without visual coding. And after I fucking do this visual coding with my computer will exactly know what I want to do. Yeah. If we're being honest. But it's cool, okay? We're adding more and more apps, learning more and more about computers. That's fine. They're growing in rapid speed still. Till we're gonna hit that fucking sweet spot. But we still haven't gotten it yet. This looks fucking awesome though. There's probably more ways to do this, so I have to actually look into what the center point is about and how they interact with each other. If let's see, this thing, it doesn't move very far. It doesn't move far enough, so it's just completely stuck here, right? This square. Where would move in respect to this? Also, what vector do we get here? If I need this kind of vector from here to here, I need this kind of vector from here to here, plus 1, 1, obviously. I think it's pretty accurate in both ways. Or is it, though? If I have 1, 1 now, what happens now? I need this vector. What do I get with this vector, though? Probably go here. What do I get? So I have to switch multiple cases, actually. No, it's like this. I still get it, though. Wow. I still get the same point. Very nice. Multiple cases completed. I still need like a vertical case, too. Right, somewhere around here. Just to know that it exactly fits the whole point. But at the same time, I'm kind of surrounding it already. Yeah, it's all good. Right. Using the same vector from here to here. Alright, so from here. It's almost like a portal vector, pretty cool. Now, it's okay if this point and this point go like this, right? If it crosses more than 4, that's okay. But if it crosses, so from here, I would go here, and that means I'm crossing only 3 at most, right? But it's actually 2. So if it's 4, then it's good. Even it's good here too, but it wouldn't be. But it's still good, right? 4 is good. 2 and 3 or 1 is bad. I'm not gonna fit. The idea that I have to reload the chunk in the first place, so I don't even touch it, and it doesn't matter. The chunk identity itself doesn't matter. So they can just stay here, frozen, all those blue ones, because they didn't move that far. That's about it. And yes, we actually can just portal things into center point. New center point and all center point. They kind of give off those vectors we calculated. This is not exactly the end result, but it's just the coolest thing ever, just to move forward forever. And it's not exactly loading chunks, because the whole thing moves with you. Alright, well, the visible space moves with you. So it's not loading chunks, it's just the visibility changes. And the flickering is just because things a little bit shift. I think from distance, actually. Huh? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's a little bit of flickering. I want to see. Because it's not from movement, clearly. You know, should be consistent. It's too hard to tell. That's kind of weird, actually. Why would it be so different? Actually, it is from... No? I can't tell. It's kind of weird. And I think it only affects mountains, maybe? I mean, seems to be the case. Maybe I'm missing something here in the code. Some kind of random thing. I wouldn't know. Too hard to tell. It's so fucking weird. What? Talking mountain. Yeah, thanks a lot. Maybe it's one of those. No. It's so hard to tell what the fuck's going on here. Well, there's definitely just 2 states too, so that's interesting. Now I'll just fucking appreciate glitches at this point. Especially if I don't know what's going on. It's just a part of the game now, guys. But that's about it. That's the start of, like, generating terrain. It's just moving it along and exposing. Which sounded pretty easy until, you know, everything comes together. I still haven't implemented this thing. It's probably one of those background noise things that I just have to add. As if I'm being smart or whatever, but in reality, it takes a lot of patience to actually build this. So I don't know. Especially when coding itself is such a mess. I have to keep optimizing the coding itself, which is way more important than the code apparently. So I'll have to look into any way I can actually optimize this properly. Because look at all these green texts, like they're gonna pollute the system too. There's a lot of pollution basically from everywhere. So you need a separate organizing system. And there's a lot you can do with visual coding besides that. So it's just such a move forward if I can make it happen. There's not a lot of code to actually translate into visual code, whatever that's supposed to look like. We'll see. The video is still not over, my work is still not done. I have to ensure maybe there's an actual way to organize things properly. Right now the biggest problem is I have a space of like 16 million objects or like 1 million objects and split into a bunch of slits for chunks, right? That's an array basically. But when I fill up the array, it could go all over the place. Not very neat enough. So when I want to add a new object, it might get a little bit stuck. Obviously, I test the position and I shift it and it's supposed to fucking fit. That's okay, but maybe there's a much better way to do this without conflicts, for example, because that's a part of rendering as well. The sorting system of just injecting things and then double checking. I don't like that. I want to double check if I can actually have unique identity for everything. It's probably ridiculously difficult because I don't know how to improve this sort of idea in the first place. But it's really a core idea. If I can improve it, it would change a lot of things. So I want to see what I can do. Like when you build a list or even like linking things together, it's pretty cool, right? Linking objects together as its own array basically. Yeah, then finding objects is a little bit tougher, but it's a tool. I have a tool basically. So that's pretty cool. Also, you have to look at the purpose, how you want to read those objects, how do you want to use that array in the first place. Right. I guess this purpose have to have like, that's pretty cool symbolism for purpose. Nope. Alright, we'll see. Because again, I can improve the system. It's gonna be so much better for everything. I sort a lot of things right now. This might not be actually useful now. I immediately sit in and I realize it might not be useful. You sort things by distance. But what you can do, I need to be sorted by distance. Unfortunately, just like you might need it to be sorted by an alphabet. What you can do, usually there's going to be a clump of data. Your player is looking, and the objects appear at a certain distance. There's going to be a clump of data that way. So we can imagine like this, but we can distribute this data a little bit, saying, okay, it looks like this. So we're going to be more sensitive and we're going to warp. So the magical word is warp. So we spread out the data using this. We become very, very sensitive. We kind of double up. So we split here. Say, okay, this is where it ends and this is where it starts. But we also stretch out a little bit. And all of a sudden data is distributed fucking nicely. Except it's not actually sorted. It's distributed nicely, it's not sorted though. Which is fucking crazy. In this case, we actually have another use for this. So the real question, can I distribute it and sort it at the same time? Oh boy. What a weird question. Obviously the best thing to do is, because you put everything together, you shift it all the way into the back. That's what I do. Is it very useful? So that there's a why does it seem so problematic though? And with warp you cannot do that. The most problematic thing is if you bounce off, it's really, really bad. So the best thing to do is like use a larger array, even if it's just temporarily larger. But what if you could have a temporarily large array without actually having a large array? That would be an interesting question as well. What if you can give an ID to a thing, but the ID doesn't actually exist anywhere? Something like that. I want to know. Does something like this supposed to be possible? Because currently, like, what is this empty space supposed to do? It's supposed to just wait for another thing to be inserted inside. So it's almost, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm assuming an identity. I'm inserting in between 2 points too. There might not be empty space, or there might not be a need for empty space. So once I figure out how I want to handle these kind of arrays, that would be just fabulous. If I can make like a perfect list, that would be fabulous. That self-sorting list, imagine that. Fuck yeah. Alright, so if it would be possible to have any shape, in case those shapes are just labeled differently, right? So if we really would care, like even something like this, where player looks a certain way, and you can actually load chunks that way, because chunks kind of load almost instantaneously, and maybe modifiers can actually load in a pretty decent radius, right? So you have modifier radius and you have chunk radius, and it could still be just, you know, player looking around, meaning that you should be able to see even further that way. And objects load dynamically yet again on another layer. So that's cool. So we can have any kind of shape loaded. But at the same time, it's like, well, is that necessary? Well, think about it, right? So we probably can have any shape, and we can move that shape, and we're not gonna move the shape if it belongs here, right? We should be able to know if it belongs. There's a specific function that, you know, you pick up a vector and you check that vector if it's, you know, in this case it's 2 down from a range of vectors, basically. If it's two steps, basically, it's just 2-step thing. If you can break your vector into 2 steps, it's gonna be inside. This normally means that it's just a square like this. To do a circle, I think it's even easier, but also like less efficient. Actually, I'm curious right now. How would the range work? Alongside with the idea that every chunk has its own modifiers. Alright, that shit's important. On top. Yeah, this is so interesting. But now I realize why I needed to do +1. I should be reading from the middle. Right. Middle of the chunk into the middle. So we take this vector and we reverse it and we place a 6. It's almost like a portal. Yet again, and it's very, very straightforward now. And we would check a completely different way. If a vector is like this, right, but it takes what is it, like 4, so it's inside here but it's outside here, that means it has to move, but these guys are inside both cases, so this is actually like 5 steps. Or if we check radius, it's like this, right? Ah, that's interesting. If we check radius, then it actually is interesting. Of how things move. So maybe it would actually be kind of cool to use a circle radius, now that things are actually moving accordingly. And we kind of attach chunks as well. Now the question is, well, yeah, how many chunks do I have? Is the question. Just to know how long the array is supposed to be. If I could have just any size arrays, I would love that shit by any means. But I can't have that. I have to actually pre-calculate everything. So I need to know the idea of how chunks look like, at least. If I draw a circle, how many chunks do I get? That's kind of the idea. But that's just a simple grab, I think. Alright. I'm gonna be almost done, because this looks super simple. But as much as it's interesting to increase the viewing distance, probably would just increase by 3. It's kind of like, at best, is 1/6 view. Probably it's a little bit more. And you would say, oh, this stuff is hidden, so we can use all the performance here. But based on triangles, and if squares, if it happens to be a square, it's even worse. Meaning if it's 1/4. But if it's 1/6, it's kind of a triangle formation because of a hexagon pattern, right? This is a equal length triangle, so you can extend it like this. This is super cool. And then it has this pattern of 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So if I get +5, I was using 1, now I'm using 6. So I extended it 3 times. Pretty cool. Pretty cool math. I had to fucking highlight it. Alright, so let's see. I actually will do a circle. Let's see if I'll manage it. And of course I realize I don't want to do that, because it's for visual programming. It's a visual programming task to pick up a circle, or to circle a square, right? In order to circle a square, figure out which pieces of square do not belong in the circle. What kind of circle do you want, you know? That sort of stuff. So you cut off a bit. But it's so much worse than that. Because then it becomes a piece, right? It becomes a way to define chunks. Completely different from a square. Because you use an array, basically. An array of positions. Like that. Instead of using like X and Y. Which is, again, you know, why complicate things? Yes, if you want a very, very cool shape, and if your shape looks like this, like a camera angle shape, that's pretty cool. Yeah. But then you kind of want to rotate that as well. All of a sudden, that's another layer. No. We don't have to overcomplicate things. But it's cool to acknowledge that you can make a shape around the player or something, if that's very relevant. Because yes, what are we talking about here? Talking about square root of 2 down to 1. So that's the maximum and this is the minimum range. What is square root of 2? Square root of 2 is 1.4. So you get either 40% more range or you get 100. So it's kind of like this. Or let's just divide 1 by 1.4 and see. Alright, you get 70% and 100% range. So that's just 30% difference in a way. It's whatever. If you're trying to just bubble it up for a 30% difference to equalize everything. I don't know, I want to keep it simple. The most important part is the way chunks work. And I'll be dividing information a little bit. Right now, let's see, how do I create the terrain, right? Terrain is right now 256, 256. And I believe I simply pick up Z actually. I pick up Z. Fucking the weirdest thing ever. So I pick up this screen, 256, 256. I pick up Z and that means I move forward. and apply blocks accordingly, which is a little lame, I would say. It might be a little bit faster with Y because I define a very specific height. I don't have to redefine it. But that's just like, I already do it. I already create the terrain very quickly, so it's not a big deal. But that's what I would use. I would use, let's say 16 by 16 for a chunk. And then as high as it goes, it stacks blocks line by line. And it moves to another chunk. But every chunk is like, it's separated. So like I move with Z-axis, I move 2, 5, 6 steps. I can actually do 16 by 16 and have 2, 5, 6 steps for 1 Z, however. So I probably have to split it apart because it's literally just one layer in that sense. That's so many blocks, there's just in one layer. Fucking weird. 1 million. We're talking about 1 million. Am I a game developer? It's fucking engineer right now. Because game developer probably is okay using 5K objects, and that's game over basically. There's no way I'm gonna use more than that. Because we're talking about entertaining people. But instead I'm building terrains and shit. It's disgusting, dude. But just because I want to punch Minecraft in the face, I kind of have to do it. And realize that it's actually not that easy at all. Not at all. No, not at all, man. Fuck yeah. But I'll take the challenge. I don't care. So that's for one layer. We're gonna be using 10 layers. We're not gonna go deep. My Minecraft version is not about mining deep, okay? That's just probably the most disgusting part about Minecraft. Yes, it's pretty cool, but at the same time, what do? You're trying to find caves. You're trying to find open areas to explore. The game slows down significantly if you just mine into the earth. Like, that is the lamest part of the game, I would think. With Spawned, I never really allowed the player to dig in, you know? I kind of allowed it, but I made it slow. Intentionally even slower, so it's like, well, don't do that. Unless you really want to. Increase your stupid mining level. Fuck yeah, dude. So yeah. Just 10 divided by 10, I don't think it's a big deal. It's probably divided by 8 now. No, it's probably 16. Alright, 16, 16, 16. That's the main chunk, I would say. And we read the whole thing with Y's, right? And it's one thread performance. Unfortunately, probably. Because we probably learned that we have a bunch of threads, but definitely not that many. So if we divide this by 16, well, we have 4,000 threads working on this. That's fine. I don't see a problem with that. Applying objects should be super easy. Alright. So that's... I just hate this whole thing. Because the whole idea is I'm actually supposed to load and unload modifiers. Modifiers, not terrain. Loading terrain is fucking easy as shit ever. But loading modifiers is something you read a text file and then load it from there. Ugh. All those blockers. No, all the objects basically. But these are modifier objects. They define whether a block exists or not. Terrain block, or there's a special new block that you have built, crafted, or something. You've built a block in a different place, that's a modifier. You have dropped an item, or you have an item in your chest. That's not necessarily an object, right? Yes, not an object, that's cool. Still a modifier, though. You know, it still has to be in the chest, specifically, that the way you put it. I don't know how deep I'm gonna dig into Minecraft. I don't know what I want, honestly, at the moment. I want to make games, right? Before I actually... No, I'll pick up tools, basically, and entertain myself. And that's just... whatever it's gonna turn into, it's gonna turn into that. So, it's gonna at least ensure that I do this long term. Beyond that, I guess I'll take a pause and just show... What is there to show, however? I don't know, man. I don't know. Because again, I'm not moving modifiers. So the real question is like... Am I unloading chunks? Really? Oh yeah, the biggest problem is like... We still have to define chunks. So that's the biggest move to make. So let's do that and we'll talk what's next to come, because there's this, right? I'm gonna be able to do this. Pretty much interact with blocks. Very important, I think. And I think after I do chunks, there's something very, very special. Also, I might... Collision. With collision, maybe we can actually even do the digging inside the terrain, right? And I prevent camera from actually going below the terrain. Well, I actually am preventing the camera from going below terrain because you never actually reach a breaking point. There's always terrain everywhere, so... So in that sense, very interesting. I can allow player to actually like search for treasure or something by moving blocks around. Fuck yeah, dude. The more games I can invent while I travel through these 6 steps, that's the real spot. You know, the more entertainment I find here, because the fact... The attempt in making a game, that's fucking garbage, okay? Forget about that part. It's about entertaining every single step of the way and making something happen. Because now, I don't know, visual coding is just so important. Just no way I'm gonna dodge that anymore. It's just, you know, my brain can't handle clutter. It can't handle. I look at the code and it doesn't feel anyway. I'm trying to make it feel a certain way in my brain, you know. It's like, oh, it's the terrain generator. It's the fucking sort mechanism. It's the render mechanism. Three items I can remember. Then you have helpers, you know. That's cool. I don't know how helpers look like and what they do, by the way. There's a lot of them. Whenever I need, I kind of remember. But remembering everything, and now when you go back to C#, you get a fucking clutter of insanity. I don't know much about this at all. I just know I need to run Ray Tracer somehow, and I barely fucking squeeze myself in and run it. And I have a few numbers that are super important, and some steps to fucking squeeze in some information here and there. But other than that, it's a mess. It's a terrible mess. And I hate that sort of code. And I also hate the fact that if I'm not building the code, I don't have much of an incentive to actually save iterations of it as well and just dispose it somewhere. Oh, that's the iteration that I last saved, or something like that. But most importantly is the green stuff. This could be hidden somewhere. I mean, everything. Every single little bubble. The if function bubble. Would be just floating around, and you just pick up the relevant ones you're going to be working with. That's about it. Now, I think the way Minecraft made it to be, if you just educate yourself well enough, you can manage to just create a bubble of text that executes at specific points as well. Yeah, it's not terrifying at all. You know, like, there are certain triggers, right? If you find the game with certain triggers, let's say you hit a zombie, and that's a trigger point. Something has to happen, so insert a certain amount of code into hitting a zombie. What happens then? But then you question yourself, what can I do? How do I access zombie health, for example? How do I access what item zombie has? And normally, in the visual coding, when you enter a trigger, you also have information access as well. You don't just access a bubble to write in code. Yeah, you also have a bubble of information open up of like, what is a zombie and why would you want to hit him? You know, the reasoning, baby. The reasoning and all the names and all the suggestions, basically. I don't know. There's so many fucking weird things you can come up with. I have to think about it a lot more. I also want to think about how is Hearthstone somewhat visual coding, even though it's just 30 card decks, basically. But at the same time, you know, it's almost like turning into hard work for some people playing Hearthstone. Fucking hard work, man. Just building decks. Ridiculous. I don't know. Yes, the funniest thing is the vector thing. The way C# handles vectors is the most disgusting thing. You cannot divide vector by vector. You have to scale it. It's fucking weird. You cannot access like XY. You have to turn vector into a different. You have to split it apart, put it back together. If you transform vector 3 into 2. There's some fucking weird shit, and the most annoying part is like, oh, if you want to use integer, it's a vector integer. It's not like in C you have float and integer, and you have the number indicating how many floats and integers you have there, and it makes vectors, technically. So C# sucks ass right now. And yes, you can make custom classes, that's cool. Also, it's not C#'s problem, obviously, it's like Unity's problem, but vectors used to be pretty important. I guess now I can recreate everything, all the functionality. At this point, I'm just kind of giving up on everything that Unity provides. So lame. Except for compute shaders, fucking holy shit, it's so important for me right now. So I definitely need my own programming language, which is visual coding based. Because if I make my programming language, I can make it, you know, look pretty nice. And easy access. Easy and quick access. Based on my needs. But obviously, if you want easy and quick access, you have to work for it. A long time. It's almost like building a house. It's ridiculous. Alright, so just wait for it, but no. This is where I access. If the camera moves around, it updates blocks right now. So that was the main difference. Now, I'll build a size. And I also have to say new vector. That's the worst. That is the fucking worst, man. New vector. What the fuck? Thanks. I guess you didn't figure out that it's a new vector. Man, Unity sucks so bad. Alright, it does work now. And it is now specifically 16 by 16 chunks for each thread. Alright. You can probably multiply this by 4 if we have more threads to work through. And then essentially, if everything is working correctly, I could probably do collision as well. Something that I noted here. Because now that I have chunks, I can just check chunks themselves. In case it actually looks good in the code. I don't think it does at the moment. But once this is linear, I can just check an entire chunk very quickly, depending on where the player is. And it should bounce off all these blocks. So yeah, technically this is just simple unloading function. So I'll still think about it. Meaning that I would actually make full progress, right? I will load in, unload chunks, and put them in the right place, and reload them, basically. So right now it's just these two pieces. I can load pieces of terrain where the player goes, and I have 16 by 16 by 10. Normally 10, I'm not actually sure what that size is in reality. Maybe it's like... No, this can't be 5. I don't know. Immediately I notice there's one simple difficulty about collision. If you're just moving a ball and you move forward here, the ball would stop. Yes, that kind of looks okay, but what if the slate looks like this? The ball would immediately stop around here. I wouldn't actually try and climb up this vector because it already hits something. So on a simple collision, the ball stops. You have to actually redirect this vector based on the normals and all that shit. It's not actually that difficult, I don't think. I just don't want to think about it at the moment. It's so tough. But I'm okay just getting the collision, actually. So I want to double check if I can at least do that. Wow, even collision is actually quite complicated, because I don't know which direction I should take in general. You cannot just find a collision point that easily. And yes, I have to check specific chunks like 7 times 16. Just pick up the middle chunks from the 16 by 16. So it would be 7, 7, and 8, 8. And all those. 4 chunks, because that's where the player is, in the middle of those 4, usually. When he leaves this area, it shifts, but so that's where he is, in the middle of those 4 chunks. It's a little bit annoying that it's 16 by 16 and not 15 or something odd. Alright. So I'm not sure how to actually handle this. So I pick up these chunks and then check, you know, the ray between the player and this thing. And usually it will give me a collision point possible, or even a distance in between. Usually. Because that's the closest point, right? I guess that's kind of fair. But I still want to actually do this, right? Because I know the collision point, I know the normal. It's gonna shrink down the vector quite a bit. Because otherwise it just kind of stops. I might not even be able to move. But I guess that's fine. Just as a concept. To some degree it's totally fair to just add colliders. Make them appear in and out. Based on whichever ones actually are relevant. Use Unity for that. It's the only thing that fucking matters, really. Unless I can just copy physics from somewhere else. But that wouldn't really help either. Probably it's okay to create colliders. The problem is sending data in and out. Mostly it's out, it's the output. So if a player is close to something, close enough, then those mesh colliders will appear. And it's kind of weird though. It's called the mesh collider. It's not even plane. There is no such thing as plane collider. If I create a plane, it's the same thing. That's kind of awkward even. You know, maybe I could even fucking create them dynamically anyways. But that's just too much work. I don't want to do physics. So if possible, I'll check it out. It's gonna be a completely separate thing. Because creating colliders now has nothing to do with this. And has more to do with like distance in a way, but even that's not it. Well, yeah, distance, right? So you take a block, you say the highest distance you can reach is X, Y, Z thing right there. And if a player's close enough to that distance, then you pretty much showcase the entire thing. So some blocks gonna turn it entirely into cube colliders, and some blocks gonna turn into, or some items are just gonna show a mesh, but probably just block entirely. Just a little bit easier to understand. Because most of the things are blocks. So who knows? The moment colliders are in and I have physics, it's a completely separate thing, honestly. So, I can kind of just do this, right? Wait, what? There's this thing. No, no, no. So I'm gonna push it to the future, obviously. You know, that sort of stuff. That'll be a big deal. Anyways, that's the end of the video. So fucking slow. But it is a devlog, it's not a rant. It's actually different. Oh wow.